I signed up for the military in early 2003.
The day that I became a U.S. citizen, the next day I went to basic training.
I was an aviation electronics technician for 6 years.
I've been to 18 different countries. I've done one of every different type of deployment that Marines can do.
My job and my duties, I was a gas turbine engineer.
I was a medic by trade. I ended up becoming the non-commissioned officer of the year. As a gift, I got to go to Iraq.
We were the Cav. So we were the cavalry, we were the ones that led the division into Iraq.
My group was tasked with basically finding roadside bombs. Not only was I relied upon to save someone's life, but that I could absolutely trust in the people around me to do their job.
When I got out of the military, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't have a plan.
It's like, okay, yeah, I'm getting out, I'm done with the military. But then once you step into the civilian lifestyle, it's just kind of like,
Well, veterans do have a lot of challenges, and they need to be aware of what they are.
You have to have a plan.
in the military, I knew exactly when to wake up. I knew exactly when I would eat lunch. I knew exactly what I was doing throughout the day.
And all of a sudden you wake up one day, you have nothing to do. It was just a huge shock.
A lot of these vets don't have any transition. They have to start navigating the world.
Do you have a place to live that you can pay for? Do you have, insurance? Do you have a doctor?
These are not things that they've had to think about.
You can't just go to the mess hall and eat lunch. Like, you have to go out and buy food.
In the real world, it's all initiative based. If you want something, you go get it.
The three things that I feel that everybody should do once they leave the military is figure out what they want to do, figure out where they want to live, and figure out who they are.
When I came back, I was in uniform. This lady came up to me. She was like, well, why are you fighting this war? Just out of the blue. She didn't say, hey, how you doing? When I have a conversation.
The difference between a military person and a civilian person is just extreme.
They haven't been trained the way that you've been trained to deal with certain problems.
All the military people, we were like, okay, let's do 7 a.m. meetings for the whole 2 weeks before we go into shoot. The civilian people were like, no, that's not gonna happen.
Military people are incredibly disciplined. You say you show up at 0400, they show up at 0400. There's no question about it.
There's such a disconnect between our world and the military world. That has to be reestablished.
You're trained and taught to a standard, and you're expected to hold that standard.
But if you hold them to the same standard as a Marine or an Airman or Army, Navy, whatever branch, you're going to start pushing people away.
Try to remember that everybody that you're around is a civilian.
Be open-minded. You're going to meet everybody out there, and they're going to come from all walks of life.
You have to be more patient with people. You have to be more understanding. Others are expecting you to be working with them and helping them out.
In the beginning, a lot of vets, when they first come out, are all bravado.
We're taught pretty much to suppress our feelings and our emotions and just get the job done. And you harden up and you toughen up. And so breaking down and crying and becoming weak was just never in my vocabulary.
Oh yeah, do it myself, yeah, I'm a man. Hey, that shit doesn't work.
We have to allow ourselves to put our defenses down just a little bit because you're not in combat anymore. You don't have to fight anymore.
Going to war is the most important thing that ever happened to you. It's the signature event of your life.
From the second we got on Highway 1, RPGs, mortars, artillery, everything was coming down. In the middle of the night, tanks started rolling up on us.
You don't know if someone's gonna come around the corner. You don't know, where there might be a hidden grenade or a bomb or something.
And you're always on alert, always on alert. I barely slept, man. I couldn't sleep.
3 to 4 nightmares per week that I was dealing with. I just thought it was just something that was kind of like a hangover from war.
Because I saw a lot of my peers, a lot of my friends, and a lot of people I didn't know, going through that downward spiral. And I was victim to it too for a little while.
I had some dark moments in my life.
PTSD, yes, is a major problem, or a physical injury is a major problem. It's a normal response to an abnormal situation.
We have to talk about it. We have to embrace the fact that these are some horrible experiences that really can scar people.
Sometimes you may need counseling. It may not be group counseling. It may be just someone to just tell you that, listen, this is normal. I didn't really take that seriously. And once I did, everything turned out to be fine.
The resources that exist generally are medical resources. You can use the VA, but there's also career opportunities.
Use the education benefits, all the outreach programs.
And then there's also the mental health resources that are out there.
Sometimes you need help. The VA is there for that. I'm sure Calvet can definitely help you with that. And I know the Vet Center and other veterans can definitely help you. Reach out to your veteran buddies.
I have to kind of like depend on people. I have to reach out. Sometimes you gotta suck it up, throw away the pride for a minute and just really pick up the phone and say, hey, I need help.
What we need to do is a much better job of educating veterans so that they understand that they are the best people anybody could find. They've had authority and responsibility at a very early age. And what we need to do is change veterans' attitudes about their own capabilities.
I would challenge them to remember that they can be the boss. It's not to say that because they were a specialist for 11 years in the Army, that they can't end up being a CEO of a company.
Just keep going. That is the biggest thing. Do not give up.
Because if we stand together, then we can achieve unimaginable things.
When I think about the good things that I've done and the not so good things that I've done, and we've all done both good and bad, we have a lot. Everybody's got a lot to regret, and almost everybody's got a lot to be proud of. I'm most proud of making the decision to serve my country.